Americans are invading Europe and I'm getting scared. Happy New Year, you gorgeous donuts. I thought today we would have a look at the invasion of Americans coming to Europe and kind of slating it and also just being confused in general. Let's get into it. American tourist abroad slowly realizing no one gives a about the 4th of July outside the US. I'm not gonna lie, you seem kind of embarrassed to be waving that flag. It's almost like you're kind of half-arsing it a bit. Like, if you really meant it, you'd be like, look, 4th of July, people! Right, will anyone put some respect on my country? But you're kind of just doing it like this, hiding it, just making sure that no one really realizes. But yeah, I don't think outside of America, anybody else celebrates the 4th of July because that's America's Independence Day. Why would the rest of the world kind of celebrate that? I don't think they really want to. Unless they get like a free day off work, they'll pretend to care. But if you're not actually from America, it's just not really a thing for anybody else. Like, honestly, and I feel like this is because I'm kind of thick, I originally thought the 4th of July was Thanksgiving. This video's now turned into dumb British people reacting to Americans. I'll make sure to retitle this one. But I'm bringing that up because it just shows, like, in the UK, we don't really take note of it at all. And we also don't take note of Thanksgiving. I don't know any single person that was born in Britain and has no connection to America that does their own Thanksgiving. Maybe they do. Okay, maybe they like the Super Bowl and they make a thing of it, but that's centered around the football. I don't know anybody that just celebrates it for it being Thanksgiving. And I do realize that must be kind of wild for Americans because obviously you've grew up with that being a huge thing. And to hear that other people just don't even acknowledge it, I can imagine that kind of frying your brain. American husband at the German gas station for the first time. I remember my first time losing my virginity of going please finish that sentence, of going to an American gas station. German gas station! Guys, it's the first video back. I'm rusty. Damn, I just kept thinking about being a virgin. It's throwing us off.
American husband at the German gas station for the first time.
Babe, where you going? Where you going?
Pay for the gas.
No, you pump first and then you go pay.
What?
Yeah, you pump first and then you go pay.
Why would people... That don't make no sense.
Wait, is this not a thing in America? Do you not, like, put the fuel in and then go into the shop or pay on the screen? Like, do you guys have to pay first? I guess it makes sense so you don't steal the fuel. But we just trust each other over here. And there's cameras everywhere. So you can't really get away with it. I don't think. I've never tried. I'll try the next time and let you know. You'll probably know if I'm back on the channel or not. But yeah, we kind of just trust that you're going to pay for it. I mean, I fill my car up, obviously all the time. I have never seen anybody go away without paying. I remember this one distinct time when I was in the car with my stepdad and he'd forgot his wallet and he actually left his ID in the petrol garage, went home, got his wallet and then came back to pay for it. So that's how much trust we kind of have, especially in the UK. At one point I thought he was going to leave me and I don't know what would have happened if he didn't come back. I'd probably, I don't know where I'd be. I also love that his girlfriend or wife kind of waited for him to like walk in and then kind of embarrass him.
Yeah, you pump first and then you go pay.
Why would people... That don't make no sense.
Why? You pumping however much you need and then you go pay.
So I could just pump and just go. Pump and go.
No, because they will follow you, but...
Who's gonna follow me? The gas station clerk?
There's cameras there, you see right there.
The cameras will follow you, sir. The cameras will never let you go. It'll be like you're constantly living in the Big Brother house. Have you not heard what happens to people that steal fuel? They get put on the pile wing. They don't. I don't think so. Maybe they do. I feel like that would be unfair. Not really the same, is it? I need to move on. POV, an American uses the bathroom in Italy. Oh, come on. Nice. We're gonna finally see someone pooping on this channel. It's been long enough. Surely you'd have a good look around first before you go, oh well, that must be the only thing. And then you've got to have a double treble check before you look at the bidet and go, that must be the place where I poop. Can you imagine being the cleaner of this hotel and you walk into the bathroom and in the bidet there's just a big log? You would probably just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave that there. The next one could deal with that. Don't get paid enough for this.
New Yorker's first time in London. Here's what I've learned so far.
Sorry, just before we get into this is my favourite accent in the world. Like a New Yorker. Oh, I'm walking over here. I got the car salesman hand. Both terrible impressions of someone from New York. Don't know what New York they're from.
First of all, everyone wears trench coats here. Luckily, I got the memo before I came. Second of all,
I don't know what London you're going on about, but maybe it's like West London, like the posh bit. But when I lived in London, everybody just wore like Nike Tech. Like I just leave my house. I think there was more people in Nike Tech than any other thing. It was like 60% Nike Tech and then just the rest. Or just some form of like tracksuit that is a co-ord. I think you only really see trench coats if you're kind of in the posher areas.
Second of all the cars drive on the opposite side of the road, and the steering wheels in the cars are on the opposite side of the car. I actually got a little nauseous on the way to the hotel, but we're okay now. Third of all, when you go to a pub, because that's what everyone does, goes to pubs for dinner, fish and chips all the way, not only are there big dogs allowed in the pubs, but when they're barking loudly, no one bats an eye. No one cares at all. Just loud dogs. It's okay. Doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah, like dogs are allowed in pubs, a lot of pubs, especially big dogs. They don't discriminate on the size of the dogs, I don't think, at least the pubs I've been in. But if a dog was barking the entire time for like an excessive period of time, I feel like people would look at it. And if it was really loud and a big dog, I'm not going to say anything, but I doubt that people would just ignore it if they can't hear people. To be fair, actually, now I'm thinking of it, maybe people wouldn't look. But I don't know what he means by like barking loudly and excessively. Does that mean you just don't stop? Because I feel like then you would have to sit outside, or at least people would just sit outside anyway if they knew that their dog doesn't handle that kind of space well.
They only play British people music, so we basically listened to Adele back to back the entire dinner meal, and honestly I'm not complaining. I love Adele.
What does that mean? They only play British people music, so people that are from Britain? That's not true. That's just not true. That's a lie. What, are you telling me like Bruce Springsteen comes on, they go, oh God, get him out of here! Don't anything made in America here. What do you want us to play in the pub? Like a bit of Little Baby? Just a freestyle or something? That's not gonna go down well. It's not the vibe. Also, I don't know if Adele's really the vibe. Like, Adele is really sad. Or at least most of them are quite sad. I feel like you need something just a little bit less intense. Now I'm thinking about it, I can't really think what music they play in the pub, because that's a big reason people go to the pub, so that they can hear each other speak. If you wanted more of a music vibe, you'd go to a bar. But yeah, I don't think in London they strictly play British artists.
That's it. But I'm going to learn a lot more as I'm here, so I'll keep you updated. Cheerio, everyone.
And then 2 minutes later, his phone was stolen and he never uploaded to TikTok again.
Things that shocked me when I first moved here, let's do it. That things cost exactly what they say they cost. So if something says it's £1, then it's £1. At home, there's sales tax on everything, so it's £1.26.
I know we've reacted to this in a previous American video we've done, but I'll never get over how wild it is that if you live in America, you see something on the shelf and it's not actually the price that it says it is. Like, how does that help anybody? Like, I'm not even trying to get into any kind of argument about it here, but surely it's easier for everyone. If you see the price on the board and you know that it's going to be that price when you go to the checkout, like, why would they give you a little equation? There's no need, man. Honestly, that would catch me out so many times if I lived in America.
Which when you get up to your larger items, it adds up, you know what I'm saying? That you can drink at 18 here. And also, you can drink with your family when you're like 14. I was like, what?
Yeah, honestly, most of my friends, I think, retired from drinking at 14. When you become the legal age, it's like, oh, can't do this anymore. I'm fucked. No, your liver's given out. You're already just knackered by that age, man. Genuinely, when I got over the age of like, let's say like 21, I was like, I just can't go out anymore. I just don't have it in us. I'm not the man I once was. Yeah, Americans start drinking at 21.
You have to pay to park most places. I kind of thought it was well, you can pay if you want, but you don't really have to. No, they will send you a ticket and you have to really pay it.
Oh, is that not a thing in America? That's like, oh my God. I feel like I'm gonna get invited to the pay by phone Christmas party. The amount of times I have to go on that genuinely, like, they remember me now. All I need to do is just Apple Pay it. It's always a quid. It's like, is this really adding to anything? Surely this quid is better in my bank than it is in whoever owns this car park. The other day I was getting me haircut and I forgot to pay like the quid for the parking, and they sent me in £100 fine. I was like, what? £100 from a quid? Where's the correlation? I get it's to kind of make you scared, so you do pay the quid. But £100? What? Most expensive haircut I've ever had. And then they give you a deal. Sorry, I'm just ranting at this straight now. I'm such like I'm like a mom. Why am I ranting so much? So old. But they said that if you pay it within like the first 7 days, you get it for 80 quid. I was like, oh, what a bargain. I better pay it now. 80 quid. Bloody hell, I'll snap your hand off for that. Christ, you should have said 80 quid before. I'd have nothing to complain about. 80 bloody quid. That's me deal. Sorry guys, that just really pissed us off. I'm getting so old.
Americans in Italy are just hilarious. So I'm in Rome at the moment.
Oh, okay, so this is a British person exposing an American person. We've sent scouts out.
And we were just in a restaurant and these American ladies were sat at the table next to us. And they'd sat down for about 5 minutes and they were just getting so angry. And they called the waiter over and they were like, excuse me, we're starving, can we order please? They literally been sat down for 5 minutes. And what makes me laugh is they're not used to the Italian service. Waiting in Italy is extremely normal and you just can't complain about it. It's just the Italian way. So if you're in Italy, and especially in a busy restaurant, prepare to wait. But it's a good sign.
That is something I definitely feel like is a little bit of a cultural change. And I can understand if in America, if you're used to just, like everything's very instant and just kind of like, you know, the service is just so streamlined so they can make the most money and waste the least amount of time. Whereas that's just not the case in a lot of European countries. I feel like more so in the UK, it's kind of, you know, tries to be as quick as possible. But when you go abroad, they're used to like a slower, a lot of countries are like live slower, like have happier lives. Like work is not like the main thing in their lives. However, I would never go to one of these countries and then complain that they're not like the country that I'm used to. Because obviously when you go to a new country, you have to respect how they go about things. Like they're not being rude if they haven't served you within the first 5 minutes. Getting served as soon as you've sat down is a huge luxury in my opinion. Like that is just so quick. 5 minutes is nothing. Like genuinely nothing. And to kick up a fuss and complain as well, like, oh.
I wake up drenched in sweat because AC hasn't been invented here yet. I then try this new European mode of transportation called walking and go to a local cafe to order an iced coffee. However, they haven't invented that either, so I go somewhere much better.
Okay, 3 things. First off, Europe does have AC. Okay, they do. Secondly, walking on holiday is kind of enjoyable, is it not? I feel like if you were going to walk for half an hour on holiday, it doesn't seem like half an hour compared to walking half an hour at home where you might get the bus or, I don't know, get the metro or the train, whatever you are. I don't feel like it's as bad and something to complain about. And third, iced coffee is so big over here. Like, so big. They have it in, like, loads of independent coffee shops as well that aren't, you know, the big kind of corporations. I remember going to Germany on a stag do, and we found this, like, tiny little coffee shop, and even they did iced coffee. Americans say this all the time, but whenever I go into a coffee shop, they always have iced coffee. It's not this miraculous thing that, like, Americans kind of only have access to. It's literally just milk, espresso, and some ice.
I then decide to check out the sights. I feel really proud of myself for being one of the tourists that come here every summer, and I'm sure the local Europeans are really happy that we're pumping money into their economy and have no problems at all with us being here. To reward myself, I get a McFlurry in this bougie McDonald's, so it technically counts as being cultured. I then spend the rest of my day posting on Instagram telling everybody how much better I am than them.
I feel like some of this was kind of a little bit trying to be satire, but I feel like most of it wasn't. One thing I will say about McDonald's in Europe, and especially the UK, some have a lot of culture, and I will say that. Maybe it's not culture. Some of them look really cool. Like, you know, the ones that used to be, I don't know, like an old bank, and it's been transformed into a McDonald's. Sometimes I do walk into them and I go, oh, this is pretty cool. Am I sad? Maybe it's a yeah. But sometimes, you know, when you walk in a McDonald's and it's got a bit of flair about it, you're like, ooh, God, I might change up my order. The world's my oyster. I might get a fillet fish for the first time. Who's gonna stop us?
The biggest culture shock moving from the United States to Europe is not the one that anyone talks about. It's not the free, affordable healthcare or the fact that people are in cafes drinking beer and coffee at all hours of the day. It's cigarettes. No matter the country, everyone on this continent smokes cigarettes. I was just in a Romanian cafe at 12:27 on a Tuesday, and the entire thing was filled with 14-year-olds. I thought nothing of it. I go, okay, they're probably just skipping class. Until one of them pulls out an empty pack of cigarettes. I'm looking at it and I go, you're not old enough to do that. He then gets up, goes to the corner of the cafe, buys cigarettes from a cigarette vending machine. Then him and his 8 Romanian school buddies start chain smoking cigarettes inside the cafe. In the time of 30 seconds, I felt like I was transported back to an early 90s movie. In that cafe, I paid $2 for a cappuccino and a side of lung cancer.
Okay, that is definitely alarming. And you're in Romania, so I've never been to Romania. Don't know if that's a normal thing there. One thing I will say is a lot of British kids definitely smoke at that age. It's like a thing in school. Like, I always remember in my school, there was this cringe name for, like, it was like a little bit of a forest, I guess. I had some bushes. It was hardly a forest. It had like 3 trees in it. But people used to call it Narnia. And that was like the go-to place if you wanted to smoke. I don't know why they called it that, because I never saw Aslan, you know, just sparking a pipe up or whatever. Sparking a pipe up, you can tell I smoke. Oh, do give me a little bit of that spark of the pipe, thank you. But yeah, that's often where people would have, you know, the Lambert and Butlers and stuff. But I don't think it's a normal thing. I don't think everybody smokes over here. One thing I will say that everybody does do is not cigarettes, but vape. That's definitely a lot bigger of an issue. Like, people who didn't even smoke vape now. Whenever I'm driving and it's around, like, school time, you'll always see, like, kids at buses with vape. It's kind of wild. But yeah, I definitely think if you said vape, I would have been like, yes, my friend.
Excuse me. Do you have ketchup? Yeah, to put on the pasta. Ketchup? Ketchup. Yeah, I have a ketchup. Can I have some? Thank you.
Hang your head in shame, love. Hang your head in shame. Bloody tomato ketchup on pasta, is it? Pasta and spaghetti, to be specific. That's what I was looking for. And not only that, okay, like if you were going to get this done in America, okay, whatever. But in Italy, the birthplace of pasta, where pastas probably taste the best in the world, you decide to put ketchup. If it was like a bit of pesto or a bit of passata, I would have been like, okay, love, game recognises game. But ketchup! Please own up, Donuts. Does anybody who watch me have ketchup with pasta? The fact that this has like, looks like it's got some sort of cheese and parmesan and stuff as well. Come on, let's have a word with ourselves, should we? Should we all just take a second to recognise what's going wrong here? Bloody ketchup, you big baby. I love how annoyed I'm getting at this. It really doesn't affect me. But yeah, just have ketchup. Like, honestly, that's fine.
So you know how Brits think that Americans are so rude because we go to like a cafe or a cafe and ask for a coffee and don't say please? I legit think it's because we are so confused by everything that we kind of like are just overstimulated. I don't think you guys understand, but like when people from the US come to the UK, there are so many things that are different, guys. Like, first of all, you're gonna cross the street. You don't even know if you should look left or right. If you're in a car, the person is on the wrong side of the car. So for us, that's like our mind is just, it's, you know, short-circuiting.
Okay, I get that. It's stressful. But I don't know how, like, looking left and right at a traffic light or seeing people driving on the opposite side of a car has any correlation to you being inside of, like, a restaurant or a coffee shop and saying please. I feel like that's just an excuse, no? Like, I understand your stress, but I feel like that's just within you to be like, oh, can I have this, please? Like, that's just a thing. Yes, obviously you can sometimes forget, and that's completely normal, you know? Like, they're not going to take it as disrespectful. But it's just the fact you're bringing up all of these reasons as a reason why you can't say please.
And that's not even talking about all the beautiful things that we're seeing and we're just taking it all in. You know what I mean? It's very overstimulating. Like the red buses, the phone booths, the fashion, the people, like it's just full of people everywhere. You're trying to like get a hold of your bag because pickpocketers, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot for us. So I think that it doesn't come from a place of just being rude and like not having manners, because I do feel Americans are very well-mannered, very friendly, very nice, but you have to cut us a bit of slack because it's a bit overwhelming.
I feel like this person's acting as if she's the first ever person to go to a new country. I still feel like when I go abroad, I feel like I always do say please. I mean, I can't remember now, but I feel like I just do. Even if there is a language barrier, I still feel like I do. Do you? I'm trying to think now off the top of my head. I can't think. I just don't feel like this is a good excuse for not being polite. Oh, sorry, I can't say please today because I had to look left and right at the traffic lights. You get us, you know. My mind's just on Mars at the minute.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy.
Yeah, see, I'm not trying, like, again, I'm on the American side here. I'm not trying to, like, dispute this because some people might like using this, but it's the fact you've got to stand inside of it. Like, this looks like the entrance to, you know, the Ministry of Magic at Harry Potter. Because I'm gonna just pull that, I'm gonna go and then I'm gonna be, like, in there with, like, Runcorn and literally Runcorn and of other people. And especially, like, I know lads, and I know that lads don't aim when they wee. Like, going into a guy's bathroom, it's just, there's just wee on the seat. There's wee outside of the area, which I'm like, how have you even managed to do this? Genuinely, like, you will walk in a cubicle and it'll just be a pool. It's like, how? Like, how do you miss that big ring? So I just don't trust this. I don't know if it is unisex or whatever, but yeah, I don't like the fact that you've got to stand in it, even if it is raised.
I don't think Americans realize how stupid the rest of the world thinks we are. And I can kind of see why. So I've been bopping around Italy for a few months, and the amount of times that I have seen a group of Americans yell at someone or get mad at someone for the simplest thing when it's their fault is ridiculous. A few examples would be when I've been in restaurants and there's clear signs that are like, please stand here, wait here, pay here, things like that with like clear instructions, and Americans do the wrong thing and then they start yelling at the wait staff when it's 100% their fault. And I used to think people were just pretending. Also, look, like Italian street art is beautiful. I used to think people were kind of exaggerating when they said how stupid Americans seemed in other countries. But now that I'm paying attention and focusing on it firsthand, I see it and I'm like, oh, this is how they view us all the time. And that completely makes sense. But yeah, so as one American to any others, when you guys are traveling, please don't be stupid and give us a bad name.
I think it's nice to include this video of like an American that realizes that, you know, some Americans can be quite just boisterous and kind of act as if they're the center of the world. I mean, this, you know, there's people like this from every country, but you often just see it more with Americans. I don't know if it is just because there's so many Americans, but that's like the worst thing, especially for the people that are actually just working there. Like if there is clear instructions on how to order or do something and someone just kicks up a fuss about it, it's like there's instructions. Like thousands of people today have went to this screen and ordered. So why can't you do the same? Why do we have to make it different just to satisfy you?
In UK, the crosswalk is in two parts. One is from here to there. Then you hit that button and you to go from there to there. I almost got macked by a fucking bus. A double-decker ass bus almost.
How? I don't know if I'm just kind of looking at this with a bad perspective because I'm so used to crossings like this. But surely you would see that there is another man there and it would be red. Like surely you'd like double or treble check before going to the next one, no? Otherwise you're basically just playing like total wipeout at this point. I need to know, like in America, are you able to just kind of not look? Like if you just hear that the noise for you to cross, you just know that you can just get to the other side and not look at all. Because even if I do hear like the noise and I see the green sign, I still look to make sure that the cars are stopping. Again, I'm acting like this is all Americans. It's literally just the Americans that we're seeing here.
How do I take this off? The lid is here.
Oh, it comes
Stuck.
like that.
It comes glitched?
Yep.
What?
I will admit, that is, it can be a bit, like, pissed off that.
Did you know our chargers don't work here?
Of course, you need an adapter.
What do you mean adapter? I'm adapted. This is just, it glitched. Oh, good to meet you. I'm Damien. Man, what?
Can you open the window real quick?
Yeah. Oh my, I thought it was gonna fall on me. That's how they go?
I also, can't you with them windows, you can like turn them all the way and then they open properly. But they are confused and I will give them that.
So apparently the Brits found out that a lot of Americans think that they're chopped. And as somebody who's been called British as an insult before...
Do they? I didn't realise that. I've just found out that Americans think that British people are chopped. I know the whole teeth thing. And again, I'm not like the poster boy for being like, actually, British people have good teeth. So I'm not going to combat that, okay? That's a battle that I'm not going to choose to fight. But I didn't realise that we're just chopped. And this person is saying that, I don't know, when they've been living their life, instead of someone calling them ugly, they've actually just went, oh God, you look so British. And that's like ugly. There's loads of fit people over here, right? There's one downstairs. She didn't hear. I thought I was going to get good points for that. It's all right.
Brits' response is like, oh, it's because they see like the Love Island girls and they see like the makeup on here and it's classist. Those Americans are classist. Which, first of all, for Brits to be calling American classist, it's like pot, kettle, glass houses, stones. I'll leave it there. But it's not that. That's not why Americans think Brits are chopped. Because when I see people talk about like ugly looking British people, it's equally about the men and the women. And while I will say the recent rise in like filler in the UK is definitely like part of the recent notion that a lot of Brits aren't the most attractive, because apparently the like licenses there to like do filler are a lot like more lax than the US ones. But the main thing is like the features that you see on the British royal family. That's what Americans think are ugly.
Well, that's not fair. We don't look at Donald Trump and go, God, aren't all Americans really ugly? They all look like him. No, we realise that he's a one-off. You can't look at like Prince Andrew or Prince Charles and go, oh God, British people are ugly. That's not fair. We don't all look like that. I'm sure, you know, allegedly there's been some inbreeding there. That's not all of us. Some of us like to keep it out of the family. All of us, actually. Hopefully. I don't know.
Found in very British faces, I say as someone who looks very British, aren't features that are necessarily
seen as desirable in the US.
But how does she look British? Because she kind of does, but I can't put my finger on it. Let me know if you have the same thing. If I'm on TikTok, okay, and I open up TikTok or Instagram and I see someone, even before they speak, I can just like kind of see if they're British or American. I can see it with Australia as well. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. There's something, and I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I know what she's getting at. But I wouldn't say that British people are chop.
Anyone else feel like British people are just out here doing anything? I feel like they have the most insane relationship lore and views on relationships and dating. Like, you'll talk to a British person and they'll be like, yeah, I was with my ex for 5 years and then we broke up because he cheated on me with my best friend. You're like, girl, what? Like, that's crazy. They'll be like, yeah, and then I went to Thailand and I met an Irish man and then I moved to Australia with him and then I met someone hotter at work and yeah, and now I'm with him. Girl, what?
Is it bad that I don't actually think that that's that crazy? Like, obviously it's bad. Like, you know, you get cheated on, you know, and it's your best friend doing it. That's really bad. That's really horrific. But it happens, right? It happens. I don't know if it doesn't happen in America. Surely it does. But then, like, yeah, you know, you go to Thailand, you find yourself, and you find somebody else who actually isn't the person for you. You come back, and then you find someone. I don't think that's that crazy. I feel like it's a pipeline that a lot of people go through. It is crazy, but to, like, make a TikTok about it and say how mental that is, I don't think it's that mental. Is it? I don't know. Maybe there's just a lot of people just kind of slying people where I'm from.
I have never tried beans on toast, but I'm in London right now, so I figured if there's going to be a time to try it, it's now. I have asked every single British person in my life how to make this correctly. So if there is something wrong, don't shoot the messenger. I've got farmhouse white bread, salted butter, of course, our beans. First, I added my beans to the pot, and those are gonna cook for 5-ish minutes. Bread goes to toast. So I've heard that buttering your toast, it can go either way. And if that's not right, take it up with your fellow Brits. You thickened up. I think I burnt it. There we go. Now, the last step I was told was HP sauce. What? Y'all go nuts for this sauce.
No, you bloody...
I don't know how much. Just like...
What?
Okay.
Oh, God. I've seen enough. Send out Azkaban.
Oh, wait a dang minute. Why is that so good? I was not expecting it. What is in this sauce? This thing is so good.
Oh my God. I've never put HP sauce on beans. Maybe I'm the issue here. I think I am. Okay, love. I respect that you liked it though. But when I saw the HP sauce, I was like, that's such a curveball. It's like Elf, you know, when Elf puts the syrup all over the spaghetti. You're like, what are you doing, Elf, man? Anyway, donuts, I'm going to end this video on that one. Hopefully you have enjoyed this. I love recording these videos on Americans. I find them so fun. Hopefully any Americans watching didn't take too much offense. If you do want to watch another video where I react specifically to Americans coming to Europe and being severely confused, click this video right here. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching, donuts.
Kirkham, baby.